Hello, Western Oregon fans, and welcome to this edition of Wolves Weekly. Joining me this week, Jeremiah, representing the Western Oregon baseball team. How are you doing today, Jeremiah?
Very well. Good to be back on.
Coming on after a weekend where you guys were able to split a series. Unfortunately, it was only a 2-game series, not what we were expecting, a 4-game series against the number 8 team in the country, number 2 team in the region, Chico State University.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the old Pacific Northwest and its weather kind of took a couple games from us, but it was good to get out there and at least get a doubleheader in, and we were excited about that.
And you guys worked really hard for that one. The series was originally scheduled for 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. Jeremiah announced to us last week that they were moving the 2 up to Friday, 1 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. They pushed through those 2, got them both in. The doubleheader on Friday, Wolves won the opener. Chico State won the second game. And then on Saturday, Sunday, as Jeremiah mentioned, the Pacific Northwest just unfortunately caught up to us, and we've taken quite a bit of rain up here and accumulation of everything, not just the rain coming down that day, but water soaking in the ground out there didn't help. But I'd like to talk to you about Game 1 and what was really an encouraging performance by the Wolves out there. You don't want to put on an individual, but there was one individual that really did do very well. Mike Ward pitched a heck of a game on the mound.
He did, and you know, to come out, and this is the first time we've had Mike in that that first game slot, and you know, he set the tone for us, and he put it on his shoulders, got the big pitch when he needed it, commanded the strike zone, and kind of kept their hitters off balance. I was very impressed with his efforts, and you know, I think our guys rose up behind him too, and as you saw the box score, we got some clutch hits late in the game that kind of sealed the deal for us. But Mike, we were very impressed with his efforts.
And he gave up only 5 hits and 7 in the third innings. I mean, less than a hit per inning. Pretty impressive from that guy. And based on his reputation, seeing him pitch all these ones, he doesn't give up very many walks and doesn't give up very many hit by pitches, meaning they didn't have a lot of opportunities out there.
Yeah, he came right at their hitters, and you know, even though we made 3 errors, we did a good job behind him defensively, because he's not a big strikeout guy. He finds the barrels, and you know, has them put it in play with his pitch though. And that's what we liked about that. And he kind of frustrated their hitters a little bit, and they chased some pitches, and you know, we were able to defend it behind him.
And that one time he did run into a little bit of trouble was in that 8th inning, but Kirk Lind had his back right behind that one.
Yeah, it was good to see to have Kirk ready to go, and you know, Kirk's done a very good job for us this year, and just being ready, being mentally prepared to come into a game and seal the deal. And he did a very good job. I believe he came in with runners at first and second, and was able to get out of it with no runs. So, and then he took care of business in the 9th. Yeah. So, good effort by both those guys.
And you guys got your run early. You guys got a couple runs early in the game. Daniel Dillard doubled in a couple runs early, which gave Mike Ward the lead. But the important thing to me was you guys tacked on a couple runs later on, doing what you like to do, manufacturing a couple. So it's not just a 1-run lead, but getting a couple more across just to give Mike Ward a little bit more breathing room.
Yeah, when you're playing Chico State, a lead's never safe. They're a very resilient club. They've got a lot of offensive weapons. They're very, very fast on the bases. They're always putting pressure on you. So to scratch across a couple more runs was huge. That kind of alleviated some of that pressure that was on our guys, and we could sit back and go after them with a few more fastballs, and you know, our guys stepped up and just did a very good job.
And in Game 2, actually, let me go back to Game 1 really quick. The thing that you mentioned to me, you guys hit the lefty pretty well, which is an important one in Game 1. But in Game 2, you guys got to see why Chico State was really why they ranked one that they are. I mean, they got to throw a freshman out there. His name, I believe, is Ryan OShea. Came out, gave up 3 hits in 6 innings. A very good performance by that gentleman.
He may be a freshman, but he does not pitch like a freshman. He's very polished. Came right at our hitters, and we didn't have answers for him. I was very impressed with how he commanded 3 pitches. He did a very good job. I thought we should have some answers for him. Definitely disappointed with only getting 3 hits off of him, but we definitely tipped our hats to him, and he took that game on his shoulders. And similar to Game 1, what Mike Ward did to their guys, he did the same to our guys offensively. So definitely impressed with OShea.
And you guys were back out there ready to go on Saturday, just unfortunately that those raindrops would never let up in the outfield out there. So we want to talk to you now. We're looking this weekend. You guys have another home series coming up, the 3rd of 3 in the homestand basically. You get to go back to the GNAC opponents. Play St. Martin's. St. Martin's comes in with a little bit of extra motivation, I'm assuming right now. They can actually kind of smell the top of the GNAC. They're coming in trailing you guys by only 1 game.
They're a very good club. They're hot right now. They took 3 out of 4 from NNU at NNU, and they're playing the Billings Club at their place. I believe they swept them yesterday, and now they have another doubleheader today, weather permitting, on that series. So, the thing with St. Martin's, they return a lot of veterans on that club. We got them on a bad day over at Lewiston. Their pitching staff was depleted a little bit, and we got to their pen. Their pen was tired. It was just kind of a bad mix for them on that day. I thought our hitters were very hot that day. Obviously, we were motivated to play them, but this 4-game set with them will be 100% different than what we saw over at Lewiston in the single game there. Very well coached, kind of a new look. They got new coaches up there, new assistants, and they've got a crop of very seasoned veterans that are going to come right at us. Obviously, like you said, with them being close to us in the GNAC standings, we need to come out and play good baseball, stay focused. Our field, we're going to hope that's not going to become an issue. Obviously, our infield is very good with the turf, but we do have some major concerns with our outfield. And hopefully this week the weather will break some and we can dry that thing up and get it playable. So we're excited about the series. We're in a bit of a homestand, and we need to come out and represent our university well.
I'd actually like to ask you one other thing. We have a little bit more time today on the show. I'd like to talk to you about the running game specifically. I didn't get to it as much after the Central Washington series. What I noticed, Michael Chiarelli, your catcher that was there behind the plate, ended up throwing out one of their runners. They didn't steal another bag the entire series. Meanwhile, you guys were able to put up 13 steals in that department. Is that an important part where you guys like to focus on? Do you guys have a little bit more team speed this time, and do you really try to cut down the opponents, running around on the bases as well?
Well, on the defensive side, having Mike Chiarelli and Miles Kaiser, both those guys are phenomenal catch and throw guys. So, obviously I think the word is out on them a little bit, and you've got to be in certain situations to take that chance to run on us. Mike has been very good, obviously, with Kaiser being injured. He's kind of taking the load on right now, and he's been very good to shut down that running game. Also on the other side, our pitchers have done a very good job with their times to the plate and how they're working the runners and giving different looks and kind of the little things of the game. But I've been very impressed with how our pitchers and obviously our 2 catchers have done. On the offensive side, I wouldn't say we're a plus running team. I'd say we're average, but we're always looking and always working to find little things that can allow us to take that base. And our guys have bought into that approach, and we've practiced it in practice numerous times. And it's something that we have some pride in, for sure.
Fantastic. Just always interesting to hear. And I noticed that one being a little differential in the stats, so didn't know if that was maybe a little bit more of a focus, and maybe your team lended you more to doing that this year. But we want to say that come out and watch Jeremiah and the Wolves take on the St. Martin Saints this weekend. It's a Saturday-Sunday series, double headers both days. Tickets are still available by calling the number on the screen. And the games on those days, I believe, start at 1 and then at noon. So we hope to see you all at the ballpark. And thank you all for watching this edition of Wolves Weekly.